What's up, guys and girls? You're listening to Airsick Hydra with some sad music today, but we're going to be running through the Foundry Virtual Tabletop, a standalone virtual tabletop application, at least that's what it says on the top of my screen, and this is what I'm using to run Warhammer Fantasy 4th edition roleplay 4th edition, with my group on a weekend. And I'm not sponsored by these guys, I'm not paid by them, and the character sheet, it's worth saying, is not made by the same people that Foundry is made by, but the character sheet you can just download for free, chuck it in this, and voila, you've got Warhammer Fantasy ready to go. I just basically want to run you through what it is and why I'm using it, because it took me all of about 5 minutes to think to myself, well, I'm going to use this over Roll20. I'm not trying to say that you should, but you could, because it's awesome. And we're going to run through why it's awesome right meow. So, let's go over to the right hand side of our screen where we've got the scenes. We've got all sorts of things. We've got combat tracker, we've got chat, but we're to begin with going to click on scenes, and we've got all of our scenes over here. We've got folders of scenes that I've included. All you do is create a scene, drag it in somewhere. So we're going to put Ruins by Night 2 and drag it into Way Back Home. Okay, Gallows Adventure we'll put into testing, Outdoor Day we'll put Way Back Home, and Outdoor Nights we'll put Way Back Home. So we'll open up all of these. Where's my music gone? We'll get the music back in a moment. It should play again in a sec. So we're going to go for Ruins by Night 2, which we'll have on the top of the screen here. Now, if you don't want stuff up here, you just right click and toggle navigation. It's no longer there. It's still over on the right hand side. You can just toggle them on and off. So we'll go Ruins by Night 2, which we're currently loaded on. You'll see that my squares aren't quite loaded up and set up correctly, so let's do that. We're going to shift horizontal by about 3 pixels. We're going to shift vertical by about 30, and I reckon that will probably do, but the lines also aren't that visible, so we'll make them nice and bold. There we go. Now that's loaded up nicely. It's once you've done that a couple of times, you get a good feeling for this. Now we've got ourselves a map. Excuse me, music. There we go. Now, one other thing I'd like to do for this is create a little bit more of a mood. So let's do that. Let's create a mood by including not only some music for you guys, we're going to put a little bit of howling wind, some light rain, and some ravens. They'll be loading in just a second. And we're going to do something that matches this in the actual game. We're going to go for some rainfall. There you go. We now have rain. It's not really looking like a nighttime storm yet, but it will, you mark my words. We're going to now do some dynamic lighting doodahs, which are going to make the game, well, if you're playing it from more of like a tabletop point of view, a lot more interesting. So I've selected walls, I've selected just a regular draw wall. I'm going to hold my control button, and I'm going to start drawing some walls. And these are things that basically break line of sight. So we're going to go here, over there, over here, over there, and finally let go of control and leave it there. That's my wall to begin with, and we're going to do a secret door on this where we're going to drag and drop. Now what I'll do is I'll connect those by dragging and dropping them properly. There we go. Now we have a nice vision blocker. We'll go back to regular walls for just a mo, and we'll go over to here. I forgot to hold control, so we'll come back to that in a moment. You just click to finish, and there we go, there's another wall done, and we'll do one more down here. So we'll do control, 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 have that going around the rubble. There we go, one more here, and there we go, some nice vision blocking. Right, perfect. Now why did we do that? It didn't look very interesting, did it? But we're going to get some enemies. No, first we'll get some player characters. We'll get Grimvald out here. We'll get Oleg out here. Oleg, how's it going, my man? Oleg comes pre-equipped with some dark vision, or rather some low-level lighting that he emits. So all I do is I go on my actor tab over on the right-hand side, which is the face, of course, for actors. We have players. These are ones I've already made. And so we've got players, we've got some enemies. These are in a custom-made bestiary. Some may come pre-equipped with the sheet to get you going, but obviously I've made some characters and customised everything to my liking. So, players, we've got 2 characters here. Click on OLED, we can click him here, and we've got the character sheet, or I can click his token, and it comes up with the token sheet. Now, the token sheet you can link with the character sheet, and why would you want 2 different sheets? Well, if it's your mob as a GM, I might decide that one monster has a two-handed axe, but I don't want all of them to have a two-handed axe. So I give him a two-handed axe on the token sheet, and when I drag and drop the other sheets off of here, all stays the same. But Oleg, if we click this, has vision to begin with, which is helpful, and has dim lighting 15 yards. We'll also give him, let's say, dim vision 25 yards. So this makes things a little bit more interesting. So now, Oleg can see further. I think he should be able to see further at least. 25 is because it didn't up. It's because I haven't linked the token. There we go. So Oleg can see further than Grimvald, despite the fact Oleg is carrying the lighting, because Oleg has night vision. I don't know, I guess he's been working on both, so it kind of makes sense. So here's our combat map. We can walk around, we can explore, we can have a little search around. You can do all of the line of sight breakers, and it's a really nice way just to get the group to explore somewhere. Now, what we need, because we have a door here that can open and close, we need something inside the door to make things a little bit more interesting. What's going to be sheltering from the rain inside? Oh, I don't know, we're going to do an animal. We're going to have we could do a wolf. A dog might make a bit of sense. I tell you what, let's go for Skaven, because Skaven are awesome. We'll have a sneaky storm vermin in here. We'll have a clan rat too. Keep things interesting and fresh. So, we'll get rid of those, close those back down, just so it's easier for me to manage. Now, Oleg is going to be walking around, and you click your door, bang, door's opened, we're good to go. Now we can start rolling combat, and this is so easy to do. You hold and just drag over everything that's going to be in combat. Now, what you have to have is, you have to have the active one, the active map where all the players are, where you're rolling combat. So you can't roll multiple combat to multiple different tabs. All you do is we right click, once you've selected all of them, toggle combat. So now they're all ready to go into combat. You see we've got our combat tracker tab in the right hand side. But I don't want this over here, I want this over there. So what you do, and this is a bit cumbersome, but you can collapse this. So now that all of your bars are hidden, and now you click tracker again while it's collapsed, and it opens up and you can put it wherever you like. So we'll put that down here, and then we'll open it back up, and we'll select our chat on the right hand side. Could we have some more music, please? Should we go for something a little more combat orientated, because that doesn't really feel like it's sort of hitting the mark. Let's go combat music. Is that going to work? There you go. Got a little bit of drama coming now. Good. So we're going to roll initiative. I don't need to select them all again. All I need to do is click roll all. Now, that's not right. Let's fix that music for a second there. I'm using Sirenscape as well for music, which I really like. It's fun. It's funky. It's fresh. Good. Right, so I can just click this button and it will roll initiative for absolutely everyone. I'm currently using the SL system. Now you can change that by going to the settings, configure settings, and you can scroll down to change the initiative test system. Okay, so we're rolling the SL test, so Grimvald is going to go first. Grimvald doesn't know anything is in there, so on his turn, Grimvald is going to go, Bruder, what is inside? And he's going to pass that, not doing anything else. Didn't click begin combat. So next, we go to Storm Vermin. Now, it would be nice if the camera automatically centered on them. That's probably a setting that could happen. But for now, this is where we're at. Now, you'll notice health bars and advantage are also all on tokens. We'll change Oleg so he doesn't have any advantage. Cheeky Oleg, trying to start with advantage. Now, the Storm Vermin is going to charge. Once again, setting up the token, click that, and then you have resources. So I've got hover for display bars, wounds, and advantage. Perfect. And if I want to change that globally, so I only ever have to do it once, you go to your enemies, you go Demigryph, for example, click that so it's a character or creature sheet, and do this, resources, and do it all there and set it up. Nice and easy to set up though. But we're going to charge in combat, we know he's in range, he's going to charge in combat, we click on him. Now for mobs, combat's really easy. You just click on the mob and you click something, you click weapon. That's what I want to attack with. So I click this. Now I do have one SL bonus, which I could type in here. Alternatively, what I should do is put in my SL bonus there on the token. So now when I click attack with him, my advantage and modifier is already done for me. So all I need to do is click roll. everything is pre-done and ready to go. Don't worry, I'll go through that once more in a second. So we've done that roll, +3 to hit. Glorious. Oleg is going to try and defend. Now he is going to go to his combat tab. For units it's a bit different because he's going to use his shield to defend. He's going to be rolling melee parry. He's going to get an SL bonus of 1 because he has a shield. And then we're going to go tick there. +5. Wow. So even when I roll for my characters, their luck continues. Oleg successfully parries the blow and no damage is taken. Glorious. On to the next turn, etc, etc. You can carry on going. Now this is all very well and good and I absolutely love it. I think it's very easy to use. I like this. There are a few things that I've suggested to be changed with the character sheet. Now bearing in mind this is not created by Foundry. The software packages, but the actual sheet and everything to do with Warhammer Fantasy in this is made by a couple of individuals that are doing this just as a passion project, and shout out to them for doing a smashing job. So a few things will be tweaked and changed, and updates are coming pretty fast, so such as criticals not being highlighted in the chat. That's coming soon because it's very easy to overlook with so much text there. It's quite easy to go cross-eyed, but just fantastic, just fantastic. If you do get a fumble here, you click the word fumble and then it rolls a fumble for you because tables are included. Something which took me about 6 hours to create for Roll20, but is automatically included within this. Praise be to the Omnissiah. So let's crack on, I think, and talk a little bit about characters. We go on Oleg's character sheet. I'll tell you what, Grimwald's is linked to his main character. Simply do that by clicking this and clicking link data. Nice and simple. Again, guys, this isn't a complete tour, but I tell you what, let's edit Oleg's token. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our compendium up here. We're going to go for careers. We're going to see what career Oleg fancies, or Oleg fancies being an advisor. So what we'll do is we'll go to his main tab, and we'll drag on, no, he's going to be an agitator. We'll drag on agitator. So now, when we go to the skills tab, we should have the ability, or sorry, the talents tab. Some of the agitator ones might be down there if he had started this. So if I click current and then go skills, now we have the agitator ones there ready for us to pick up and learn as we please. Really, really handy. Same with talents. When we scroll down, he'll have some of the talents for agitator down here ready to simply click. We're going to learn Alley Cat. Yes, all done. Now we've learned it, and now we can even look up what is included within Alley Cat. This is all stuff you can do in Roll20 if you're willing to set it up yourself. If you're not, you're going to be looking at dozens and dozens of hours, and that's why I really, really, really like this. Combat, everything is included. Armor, or sorry, a toughness bonus. Shield value, bearing in mind you only get it when you roll the parry skill. And armor AP for that body part. Marvellous. Injuries, you can drag and drop as well. Trappings, all drag and drop. So I've given him a cloak, I've given him clothing. You can just double check if there are any rules for any of these by clicking something like, oh, that's open up, new trapping. So you can make new miscellaneous trappings. We'll get rid of this, but that is how you interact with gear. You can simply open up your, let's say, folder of items and browse the items and see what's cooking. So this is pretty much how the whole software works. For me, it's just a no-brainer because there is a lot of features within this that are so easy to use. I'll give you another example. If I go to my journal, I've created a DM screen within my journal. I've done this in Roll22, but it's a booger to try and get to, so I open rules. I put endeavours on the map. I put conditions on the map. I put fear and psychology on the map. These might be the 3 things that I want to access for this game. So what I can do, I've got journal notes selected, so now you see they've gone. Now I've gone to the regular tool, but if I click journal notes and toggle, now they're always here. So if I'm in the middle of a game here and I decide, okay, let's drag out something a little bit more furry, we'll get Ratogri to just come out of nowhere and attack. And what we'll do then is click Fear and Psychology, just to have a little refresher on the rules if we need. Just to be like, okay, was it this SL, that SL? Okay, quickly bring it up here. Look. Okay, players, this is what we're doing. Wonderful. Equally, you just could go on the tab here and be like, okay, he's got Corruption Minor. Click it. What does that do? He's infected. What does that do? He's got Night Vision. What does that do? Everything has descriptions included. Really, really handy I really like it. I think it's amazing. It's a really good system. The only downside, and well, perhaps there's other downsides, but one downside for now, for me, is that this is player hosted. Okay, so what this means is that I have to actively have this open and running on my computer for other players to be able to join it. It's not being hosted by an online service. When you pay Roll20's Pro subscription service, you're paying for them to host your data, to save your data, to be able to back up and do things like that on essentially what is a cloud, and for them to run it for you. So they're doing a fair few things for your money. For this, you're doing a lot yourself. But there is a downside. You could get an online service to host and run it, and even that plus Patreon would still be cheaper than Roll20. Not that I'm trying to sort of compare the two here. Roll20 you can do a lot in with the API, with the Pro subscription. It can also be completely free, so it also has some definite pros to it. This for me though is just very easy to work with. I like a lot of how things are working in this. I can easily say, as another quick example, if the Storm Vermin is hidden, I click that. So the Storm Vermin is in the combat order, but it is still hidden from visibility in the order. So the allies don't know when it's going to attack. Equally, if I want to put this Rat Ogre on GM layer, I just right click it and click toggle visibility. It's so easy to do. Everything just feels like it's been designed in a way that is like playing a video game, kind of. It's really been built for comfort, whereas Roll20 as a system, I think, seems to limit the character sheet developers a lot more, and Roll20 has not been designed for comfort. Roll20 has been designed for people that like designing their own games for comfort, each individually via lots of APIs. It can do a whole load of things that this can't do, to be fair, using power cards and all the other APIs, and it's definitely got some bells and whistles, and if you're willing to put in the work, you can make it do amazing things. But for this, I think if you're a beginner, it really seems to be pretty well suited. It's available on Patreon. You can basically get yourself a download, a link and code on Patreon by signing up to them. I think it's $5 for the basic tier, which will grant you access. I think you should throw a lot more at them because Foundry seems to be very proactive. You can hop on their Discord, ask them questions, they'll do stuff. There may be more technical issues with this than I'm aware of because it's in beta, but currently for me it seemed very stable. A couple of times players haven't been able to access things, they have to relog. That's the only technicalities I've come into it thus far, though I had one player that couldn't join us. Seemed to be some sort of IP issue for a while, but he just opened it on a laptop, logged in with Linux, and then came in with his regular PC and it was all fine. I don't know, but this is awesome, this is amazing. We've got awesome looking tokens, we've got awesome looking maps, we've got awesome looking vision, got toggleable doors. It's just really easy to use. Everything is easy to use. We'll right click and hide you. We'll click on you and give you a condition. Conditions aren't yet Warhammer Fantasy specific, but once they are, that'll be super duper handy. Guys and girls, have yourself a great day. Going to be doing some adventure videos for this as well, going through some pre-mades, but just wanted to showcase this. I know because loads of you have asked me, well, what do you use, why do you use it, and how do you set up a game? This, for me, is what I'm going to be using from here on. Have yourself a great day. Looking forward to doing some more videos on this glorious game. See you around.